So, hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Saadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. And the purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. I'd like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are participants and family. We love you dearly. We are going to share the link today. When I share the link, and if your profile looks like this, especially if I've never seen you on here before, please show me this. Then you can go back to that if you're not comfortable. Just know that no one else, but except for me, not even Donovan, can see you until I bring you up to the big screen. So for us in the comment section, is not that we disagree, is how we disagree. We need to be respectful as we can to one another, and the same on this panel. Sometimes we discuss things that are kind of gets a little heated, but let's act like we got some sense nevertheless. So today we're going to be having a great debate. And that debate is, should a woman be expected to bring something to the table? Now, I know this is not an argument or a debate. Oh, a Freudian slip, huh? I know this debate is not new. It's actually been going around for a very long time. I saw it. Somebody posted a gentleman talk about it on TikTok, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because today I really didn't feel like talking about politics. I didn't feel like talking about nothing too heavy, too deep. And I say that because I'm always talking about something, whether it's through videos, it's on my own show or whatever. And sometimes I get burnt out. Can you imagine having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for 2 weeks straight, 3 weeks? And in this case, a couple of months straight, every day in, day out, having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then one day, just like, I just can't. I can't do it. Give me something else. So that's where I'm at right now. So I want to switch it up a little bit as we've been going hard in the paint with politics with the last couple of months or so. And we'll continue to talk about it. But I just kind of needed, something a little bit more refreshing to talk about, because I'm one of those people, I get burnt out really quick of things, and then I won't want to do it anymore. So I have to kind of tap into different things. And the other thing too is, while we are talking about politics and things like that, we still need to come back to things like relationship, because without helping the man and woman build, and specifically the Black man and the Black woman build, then we have no nation, and everything else is kind of null and void, if you will. So nevertheless, we're going to talk about that today. And hello to everybody that's come on here. Donna, before I give it to you, let me say who is on here. We have a different view. How you doing? Clifford, what's going on with you? LDKR, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Valerie, what's going on with you? And I see your guys' comments, but I'm not going to read them right now. TEW, how you doing? One who cares, how you doing? And to my moderators, thank you so much. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Don't need, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Vovo, what's going on with you? Brother Thunder, how you doing? Kevin, how are you? Dana, what's going on with you? Brother Don, I think you my triple OG moderator. Thank you. Arniba, what's going on with you? Shariana, hope you're doing well. Queen Adaya, how are you? Mike Nice, with all the nice catchphrases. Love and appreciate you for that. Buckhorse, how you doing? Soto, how are you? Long time no see. I think you like these topics. And Patrice, how are you? Miss Sweets, hope you are doing well. And Storm Vet, how are you? Donovan.
To the Demetra K show. It is Sunday. If it's 3 p.m., it is Sunday. That means it's Demetra K time. Welcome back to the show. And all you guys, our usual co-hosts, welcome. Do us a favor. It does take time to do a show. If you guys want to donate and you like what you're seeing here, you want to continue helping us create these great conversations, there's a scrolling banner at the bottom. That's the way you can do it. You can please donate Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cash, money order, however you guys want to do it. It does take time and effort to put these conversations together and to get it out there. So anything that you guys donate is greatly appreciated. And for those of you guys that have been donating for a long time, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Also, don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get that on Google Play or the Apple Store. There, you could keep up with what's going on around the African diaspora. For how many of you guys that recently know, Chad just kicked out the French out of their base. So a lot of the African countries over there are kicking these European people out and doing some stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Wong Gale put out a video I saw this morning where she was telling African women to stop having unprotected sex with these tourists, because a lot of these tourists are going down there, having sex, having a good time. These girls are getting pregnant, and they can't find the tourist, or the guy 60-something years old, he's not on Facebook or YouTube and they can't find him, thus creating that cycle of poverty because they have nobody that can help support their child. So a lot of great information on there that deals with the African diaspora. So this is going to be a very short show today because I'm going to answer the question right now. Yes, she has to bring something to the damn table.
Anyway, we're going to get into it. So again, I saw this video and it's from brother Shaheed Bolson. He is I don't know exactly who, or I won't say who, but what he is. I think he was born here and converted to Islam. And he, to me, is like a modern day philosopher. That's kind of how I see him. He has a TikTok page and other social media pages where he just kind of philosophize. I don't know, it's not a word, but about certain things. And for whatever reason, he was asked this question about the table. And this is what he said. Okay, so then we're going to get into it. As I said, I am going to share the link. Michelle, how you doing? Who else is on here? Brother Easy, hope you're doing well. And God, I'm gonna get to y'all question just a little bit. Okay, H. McDaniel, how you doing, dear self? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put this up, and then we're gonna get your opinion, and then we're gonna go from there. Let me cross myself. There.
Who started this? What effeminate man started this whole thing about what does a woman bring to the table? What table? It's my table. I built it or I bought it, and I furnish it. I provide the banquet. I provide the feast. That's my table. I don't need someone to bring something to it. You're a guest at my table. That's what a man does. You provide. Everything that you acquire, everything that you accumulate, everything that you achieve, you're supposed to be achieving for the sake of being able to provide. That's the nature of a man, to provide. Where's your hospitality? Can you imagine? This isn't a potluck. This is my feast. This is my banquet that I'm providing for my guests. All I expect from a guest is that they be a respectable and a respectful guest, a pleasant guest. That's all I ask. You don't have to bring something. If I need you to bring something to my table, then I'm not ready to have guests. I haven't prepared my feast. I haven't prepared my banquet, and I'm not ready to entertain anyone. But if I'm ready to entertain anyone, then I sure don't need you to bring anything. I'm the one who's providing. And all you have to do is be appreciative. That's the only thing that's required. And if I do my job properly as a host, then it's very easy for you to do your job as a guest. That's the nature of it. This whole concept of what do you bring to the table? And you think that's manly? To declare to the woman that you need something, that you need her to bring something to the table because you're inadequate without her bringing something? No. You're the one who provides. That's supposed to be the nature of the relationship. You provide, and she's appreciative and respectful and respectable. The same way that you would want anyone at your dinner table to be respectable and to be respectful. That's all that's required. But you don't expect people to bring their own dish when you have invited them to a feast, you've invited them to a banquet. That's not good manners. So this is very poor manners, in my opinion, and it's very unmasculine, it's very unmanly to ask women what they bring to the table and to ask them to bring anything to the table except for their own good manners.
Woo, I see y'all already having stuff to say. I'm going to bring down Brother Bolson. I'm just going to be a gracious host and I'm going to moderate. Of course, I'm going to interject my opinion if I see fit. I'm going to share the link after Donovan gives us his take on what Brother Bolson said. Donovan.
Yeah, he said a lot, and like I said, it's in his opinion, and he's entitled to his opinion because there's a lot of interpretation to what the table means. A lot of women think that they're the table. A lot of men, and I agree with him, we are the table because we bought it, we provided it. To me, a woman needs to decorate the table and help me do that in the thing. To me, in my opinion, the table represents the relationship. It's the relationship. I've already established it because it is true. Men control relationships. Women control sex, access to sex. That's the breakdown of it, if you like it or not. But my question is this: in the modern age, most people don't even eat at a table anymore. So let's talk about the table. Most people don't eat at a table anymore. So what, the days of good times and when maybe Demetra and I were coming up, where you kind of sat and everybody kind of ended their day and mom was cooking and all that other stuff. That was probably true in our day. But as I've witnessed in the last 20 something years, we just had Thanksgiving that just passed by. Even in a Thanksgiving gathering, all the food is on the table if there is a table, and everybody eats on their lap somewhere in the house, wherever they're going to eat. So I think it's a confusing message to the modern kids today, but it is what it is. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Again, I personally believe the table represents the relationship. What do I have to bring to that relationship? As a man, I think I have to bring the loaf of bread, the food, the plate, whatever it is, right? I got to bring the staples of it. What does a woman bring to that? She has to cook the food. She has to do that part and and prepare it and get it ready. And then there's the shared commonality of a table, of the relationship. So what do you guys think?
Hello, JJ. I'm gonna I shared the link and I'll continue to share it. If you want to come up, just know that if I've never seen you on here before, I need to see your face before I bring you up. But in the meantime, I'll just reiterate what he said. I'll say hello to everybody else in a minute. So he just basically said it's his table. The woman is the guest. The nature of a man is to provide. He says if you have to ask a woman basically what she's bringing to the table, then you're not ready to have guests. You should already have that prepared. And he made an analogy of, if you they're having a dinner party or a feast or whatever, you're asking people to bring a dish, that's wrong. You shouldn't have to ask them to bring anything, I guess, unless maybe they want to. But he said if you're the host, the guest shows up and they partake of whatever you've already prepared. He says the guest, and he said guest, but I guess he's likening it to a woman. She needs to bring appreciation, respect, and her good manners. So I'm just reiterating what he said until I see if anybody pops up. I'm going to go ahead and read the comments. JJ, he says, you provide for a quality and honest woman. That ain't going to happen in today's world. Okay. Love Sauce, how you doing? He said, he's on point. Panther Strike. First time you coming up. I'm going to bring you up. You ready? Panther Strike, can you hear me? You ready? Okay, I'm going to bring you up right now. Panther Strike, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me, Demetra?
Yeah, I hear you. So whatever you have on in the background, you're gonna have to turn it off because it's gonna echo.
I can hear you.
I hear you. So whatever you have on in the background, you're gonna have to turn it off because it's gonna echo.
I can hear you. How about now?
Beautiful.
We're good?
You're good.
How about now?
Beautiful. So yeah, you
Donovan, can you hear me?
Yeah, you got something planned.
All right. It's my pleasure to meet both of you finally. All right. It's my pleasure to meet both of you finally. Okay, we have a delay.
That's
okay. So okay, we have a delay.
Yeah, you have something planned in the background. You have to turn it off because it's like you got me on somewhere else.
No, I don't have anything planned. How about now?
Yes, better.
Okay. I can see both of you guys perfectly, and there's a short delay, so I'll try to be expeditious with this. Okay?
Yes.
So we're all good? Okay. Let me just a quick story. A young lady, now I'm from DC, okay? And I met a young lady in Maryland. She was working and we got to know each other. So throughout the course of the relationship, I kept hearing all of this. I like, I like, I like, I like, I like, I want, I want, I want, I want. And one day in May 2008, I said this. Let me ask you something, baby. What do you bring to the table? I asked her that. I see your reaction, Demetria. Hold on. I I said, what do you actually bring to the table? Now, I will say I was a technician at NIH in Bethesda, Maryland, making money, making money. But I did not use that as a tool to for anyone, as a kind of a violent tool to say, I got all this money, so I expect blah 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 blah. But when I asked her that, she said this to me. She said, I'm a nice person. I love life. Look at Donovan. I love life. Um, I like to go to movies. I like to hold hands and see the thing here. What I was trying to get her to see is that how dare you make demands of me when you haven't we haven't sat down and talked about us, after 4 or 5 months. We have not, hold on. Okay, we have not talked about us. Are we going to carry on past this point, or is this a casual relationship? Is this an opportunistic relationship? What type of relationship am I looking forward to out of you? When I asked her that question, that simple question, all hell broke loose. Look at Donovan. No, seriously, all hell broke loose. And I asked that question out of respect because I knew where she worked. She was a courier for WMATA, Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority in DC, the Metro. We call it the Metro. So she told, I said, baby, let's lay it all on the line. Let's talk about how much we make. Let's do this. Let's do that. Before we go on any further, because I wanted to know exactly financially. I saw her beauty. I saw my booty. I saw I saw the exterior, but I was grabbing the interior. I wanted to know what's up here. What's up here? I did not call her dumb, Demetra. I didn't do that. I did not belittle her. What I did was I was trying to get her to see that there is more to what was that old NFL commercial? Oh, NFL. There was like this guy said, "Well, there's no I in team," and this is true. There's no I in team, and this is what I was trying to get her to understand, baby. This is you and me. Don't get upset because I asked you about something very important and finances. So you tell me if I'm wrong for or anyway, I'm looking at the response. Y'all tell me if I was inappropriately out of line when I said, what do you bring to the table besides your looks? If we're going to do this together, we do this together from A to Z. And the M, when it gets to M, the letter M is for money. F is for finances. Okay. So
So let me
I'm
ask
gonna
you
sit
this.
back and
Yes.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna turn I'm gonna turn the sound back on because I know this is a very hot topic. And Demetri, you said it best that the youngins the youngins are very offended if you say, because they're young, they're not expecting they're not expecting to see these events that happen in life. We're young, we're going to do our thing. Listen, I was young. I had a 76 dots and 280Z living downtown DC. There you go, Donovan. Man, I was rolling. Okay, I was rolling back in the day. I'm rolling now. But I got older, and you can see the gray a little bit, so this gray is financial savvy. Okay, when you see this gray on a man's face, he's supposed to have something in the bank and dollar signs in the head. So we're not looking at oh, we don't have and I don't have. I don't live like that. I
So
don't
let
live
me
like
ask you this, Panther. Can you hear me?
Hold it, Dimitri. I'm trying to hear you, baby. Okay, you know what? I can't hear y'all, so I'm gonna go back to YouTube.
Okay. Oh, how
Hear
drop
you.
down? Okay. So
Okay,
yeah. So but what specifically do you want Donovan and I to answer?
wait a minute. Hold on, Dimitri. See, I can't hear you, baby. So let
What?
me go
Okay.
back to YouTube.
What?
Hold
What?
that thought. A
What?
nanosecond.
I'm gonna drop you back down to the comments.
Okay, cool. I get it. But wonderful seeing y'all. I'm gonna go back to YouTube because I want to hear this. I ain't going nowhere. I want to hear this. Okay.
Okay.
Love you both. All right. Love you both.
Donovan, so do you want to Al, you acting up? Donovan, do you
No, you go ahead. Like I said, I want to know the answer of what you got to say also. So I want to hear a woman's perspective on this because I agree with him and what he's saying in regards to, men, we're always confronted with, I like, and, these women's aspirations because again, ladies, I know you guys, I'm not a very popular person on this show, but I'm coming from a man's perspective. The bottom line is we got to bring home the whole loaf. We are held accountable no matter what. We control relationship. So it's really what you guys are going to bring that's going to add to our life and our value in regard. So I want to hear what you guys got to say.
And hello to everybody. Yeah, I mean, for what I gather, thank you, Panther, for coming up. And so he agrees with you. I see he's down there. I think that's why the courting process is so important. That's so important. So you can ask those questions. Unfortunately, a lot of people just move forward without asking the questions that you ask, of her. And whatever your expectations are of a woman, that's your expectations, right? I don't believe there's a cookie cutter expectation for everybody. Everybody is different. But that's what the courting process is about, to ask questions to see if you are going to be able to go somewhere with this person. Are you guys even in the same book? A lot of times you find out once you got into a relationship with somebody that you're not even in the same book, let alone the same damn library, So if she wasn't able to answer your question the way you saw fit and you saw something in her that wasn't going to be suitable for you, I don't think you're wrong. Doesn't sound like she was on the same pathway as you, whatever that is. And so thank God that you were able to get to the bottom of that before you made a permanent, I guess some sort of a decision. And FBA Queen, I want to say thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. I want to go back to your comment. You says, Lord, I agree with the teacher. So Brother Bolson that was on the video, he says the man should set himself up to have a table. It might not be gold, but it should be acceptable. Oops, it disappeared. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it again so everybody could see it. My apologies. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem, Brother Panther Strikes. If that's what you decided was not a good fit for you, no one else could tell you different, right? So you say, Lord, I agree with this teacher. This man should set himself up to have a table. It might not be gold, but it should be acceptable. A woman needs to bring herself correctly, not as a greedy thought at the table. I totally agree. But the other thing is, as I always say, what's behind the booty? A lot of men, you don't even get that far. You just, because even Panther said, she sounded like she looked all right, but he was able to suppress his feelings to say, okay, what she got going on up here, So I totally agree. And thank you once again.
Right. Sharon Clinkscale says, hope I said that right, Sharon. She says the bride price has crashed. Now I hear about that a lot. Now, the key word you said is the bride price. Unfortunately, in our community, 70% of women are not married. So how could there be a bride price if women are indoctrinated to think they don't need no man and they can do it all alone and all that other stuff? But I agree with you. The bride price has dropped if you are a bride. And the reason why the bride price dropped is basic economics. If there's no demand, the price is, very, very low. So if the market's flooded, it is what it is. It comes down to economics. But again, I think what's happening in the United States today is everybody is doing a reset. Everybody's getting back to common sense values. And I think that if we would stop telling our young people that marriage is such a bad thing and you can do it on by yourself, that ain't the message that we should be telling them. Because if we were paying attention to what was going on in politics, what were the tax breaks that Kamala was trying to sell? Marriage tax breaks, if you got children, tax breaks, couples tax breaks. Everything was geared toward married couples. So I think once we get back to the bride prices like it's supposed to be, the bride prices will go back up. And I really do believe women would be more valued because there wouldn't be as much casual sex out there without any consequences or without any payment. I don't know.
Absolutely. I put the link back up there. Somebody wants to come up and ask a question or give their take on this. Tanya says, I heard this topic before on the Black Authority, and some was saying, I will clean, cook, and take care of the house. And some men said that's not enough. Well, I always ask men, well, what do you want her to bring to the table? And, a lot of times men can't even answer that. It's just cliche at this point. It's just something to say. It's like, well, what do you want her to bring?
Hey, I can answer that for myself. Just bring the WAP. That'll be good enough.
But what if that WAP is bad with money? What if that WAP don't listen? What if that WAP is hard-headed and run the streets?
Yes, absolutely. And then there's a remedy to that. It's called divorce, or whatever your remedy is. So
yeah, but what did they say about a pound of prevention? And that's where the courting comes in. You could prevent all that by courting and asking that woman. I said asking. Asking that woman, about her, like Panther did. He got down to the bottom of it and he decided, yes, she's not going to be a good fit for me. Right? So if you're asking a woman just to bring some WAP to the table, she's like, all right, great, I can bring WAP. But you didn't say you wanted me to cook, clean, be good with money, cooperative, none of that. And like Brother Bolson said, bring your good manners. You ain't asked for all that. You just want some WAP, and that's what she brought. So that kind of proves my point. A lot of men don't even really know. And I guess if WAP is all you want, then who are we to tell you you're wrong?
Right. And then Panther Strike says, if she had asked me the same question, I would have invited her to my office to have lunch and show her what I could have brought to the table. But you know what I think it is, Panther Strike? Again, we live in a patriarchal society. Women look at men, and what's the first thing, at least this is what my mother told me, my widowed mother told me. First thing a woman's going to look at is your shoes and what's on your wrist. I guess that's an old school way of looking at how a man takes care of his feet and all that other stuff like that. So these women that are taught correctly from the old way of doing things, they would know how to identify men that are about caliber or have a certain caliber about them. Unfortunately, somewhere along the line in the single motherhood of things, and I'm not trying to shame single mothers, I'm just saying as a single mother or a single parent, you cannot be with your kids all the time because you're working. I'm not saying that that's a thing, but because of that, the kids are lacking. Thus, the standards are lacking, and you don't have time to teach them what they need to know. And so we have two generations of young men and women that don't know what to. Let's talk about the women. We have two generations of women now that, number one, have been indoctrinated to feminism. For some reason, they hate men, but they don't realize if it wasn't for a man, they wouldn't be on this earth. And they don't know what to look for in a good man. A lot of these women, men ain't shit, and this, that, and he ain't nothing, he a bum, and this, that. And whenever I hear women say that and they have children for these bums, it ain't saying much for their selection. And I'm not just, trying to target women. I mean, men do the same thing. I mean, we make really, really bad decisions. So in that text, these young women now have lost how to identify a good man. I see some beautiful young girls with these dudes that have their pants sagging off their ass. These guys are in and out of the streets, and they love those dudes. They love them. I don't know what it is. It's what's it called? Fix a bear or whatever. Fix a dude.
Build a bear.
Yeah, build a bear, build a dude, whatever. So
Patrice says my associates stated financially secure men don't have this conversation. Broke men require 50-50 relationships because they cannot afford to maintain a relationship. However, a broke man would never convey his financial limits. Shaking my head. Well, I see the logic in that statement. There's some men who got money, and I know some of them that's like, she got to be bringing something. You know, I want her to at least come close to what I'm bringing to the table, because you know she need to have something to lose too. I've heard that from men, right? And I think too, broke man would never convey his financial. Says, however, a broke man would never convey his financial limits. I'm not quite sure what that means. I thought I read it the other way around. So if you could give us an explanation to that. All right, let's see who else got something to say on here. Don't y'all love this conversation? And y'all, chick, how you doing? Just me, what's going on with you, Lady Blue? And I saw Brother Reggie, how you doing? Tell the wife and family we said hello. And Brother Stephen, long time no see. Tell your wife we said hello as well. No, your average logical things on here, but I want to say hello to you. All right. Al, you says the table told the lady, you don't have to bring anything. Dinner is on me. You stupid. Sherry,
well, have you guys been seeing these videos lately about these girls that are going on dates and the guys are walking out on the dates because the girl is either ordering too much or I don't know what the situation. Have you seen those videos, Demetra?
I saw one, but is that like becoming a thing? Is that a trend?
I don't know, but again, and I'm not saying it's right for a man to leave the woman high and dry. If he asked her on the date, because the men control relationships. So if he asked her on the date, I'm just saying, regardless of, you know, how the date would come out, the least he's supposed to do is pay that bill and then, you know, walk her to her door and say, have a nice day and don't look at her again. You know, run at that point. So I don't know who's raising these guys. But then again, at the same time, who are raising these girls to where they're ordering super stuff off the menu, and you know that guy is the kid from down the street that just wanted to date you, and you know you're busting his pockets out. But it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot to be said in that conversation. I agree with you. Who's raising these young men to take a woman? See, something tells me that he was being disingenuous in the first place. If he invited her somewhere that was upscale or whatever, and she ordered a bunch of stuff and he ran out, he was doing it for the gram anyway. And yeah, I agree. I think a woman should try to break a man's pockets if he take her out to dinner, but then take her somewhere where nothing on the menu is going to cause you to bite your nails off and try to refinance your left leg because you took her out to dinner. You know what I mean? Take her somewhere that's reasonable. Like I said, I'm not opposed to a coffee date. I'm one of those people who's like, I don't know if we should be going out to dinner on the first date. Let's get to know each other. You know, I'm hearing about men spending a lot of money on women, $200-$300 dates, and you don't know this lady. That's somewhere you take your girlfriend or your fiance or your wife, not some chick that I wanted to do to that. But for a conversation, somebody you just met, why would you spend that money on somebody you just met? You want to get to know her, see if you want to do that again, right? Go out for coffee. You got to have something to eat. I don't know, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, whatever it is. I don't know. You know, maybe something like that, but $200-$300. I mean, that kind of make you the fool. Let me get to this. Easy say, D, how about bring in some emotional intelligence? You know, I love that. Effective communication, empathy, support, and respect. Boundaries to nurture a healthy and fulfilling relationship. I like all of that. Yes. Donovan?
I was going to say simping. See, when a guy's spending $200-$300 on a meal like that, that's simping. Like y'all got sprinkle. That's called simping.
Miss Sweet says, do I need to create a resume for my WAP? I got good reference, but they may not want anyone else to get it. She's talking to you, Donovan. Patrick says, Queen Demetra, we see grace and beauty every week displayed from you. And that is, thank you. Said that is the opener for men. We then look for stability from women. Without it, our household will be out of order. You know what? I totally agree. And thank you for that. I agree with you. Samuel, see how you doing? And Kara, how you doing? I agree with that. Which is why I always say what's behind the booty. You know, I know men, you guys are visual creatures and y'all like women who look good and all that. But if you just, I mean, at this age, when I say this age, I mean in our 50s, right? You should be able to have a conversation with a woman, I don't know, 20 minutes or so and say, you know, yeah, I don't know about her. You got to almost kind of put blinders on your eyes and just, close your eyes and listen to what she's saying. Does she sound like she's cooperative? Does she sound like she got some sense? Does she sound like she knows how to, be responsible with money? Does she care about you? Or does she care about what you have? Because let's keep it real. A lot of you men, they got a little bit of change in your pocket. Y'all pursue women with your money. And then when she proves to be who she is, then you want to be mad. It's like, nah, you should have asked her some questions. You shouldn't have led with your wallet. Because she was like, all right, a girl's got to eat.
Hey, I take them to Denny's. I use the 55 and over menu. Simple as that.
You crazy.
Ain't gonna get charged nothing over $12 plus my 20% military discount.
BJ, how you doing? Says men and women need to start back to ground zero. Relationships should not be defined by business acronyms. Says life has waves, ups and downs, and love has to endure it if it's real, and endure finances can't. Okay. FBA Queen says, I am old. No, you're not. He says, I am unmarried but never wanted kids. Now I got the grandpappies moving my way. Says, I'm good. I do like the old-fashioned courtship, but I don't see young people doing this much. It's because we're not teaching them that anymore. We're not teaching them the value of courtship. As I say, people ask me all the time, do you have any grandchildren? The answer is no. But then I ask them, why is it that y'all ask me about grandchildren and you never ask me about a son-in-law? See, ask me about a son-in-law first, because that's what I've taught my daughter. I didn't teach her. And listen, I was an unwed mom too. Me and her father never got married. So I'm not coming to y'all from, oh, I'm all of that. And I didn't do it right either. But I also taught my daughter, don't do what me and your dad did. You should be in a union with a man that y'all can raise a child with, a family, and all of that other stuff. But we have to start teaching those principles. Start teaching your girls and your son, your boys on courtship. He's cute. She's cute. But what is she talking about? What does she do? What does she want to do? We're like, tell me more about you other than you cute and you a hot girl or you a city boy or whatever. Let me know what it is I need to be pursuing behind the facade of you, because let's keep it a buck. Most people bring their representative. They don't show up as who they really are unless you're grown and mature. But even then, there's a lot of grown people who are still out there faking the funk. So you got to have conversations with people to see if they are who you want to spend more time with. So we got to start teaching that.
Yeah. How many of you guys have seen that guy? He's a Dimitri. You did a video on it, or was it you or Pink Book Lessons? It's one of you guys, and I think it was you. And he's going to win the Heisman Trophy. He plays offense and defense for the Colorado Buffalo with Coach Prime. He has that female that they didn't go to high school. I saw the video where they really talked how they met and stuff. They didn't go to high school together. She was in college and he was in her DMs and stuff like that, whatever, however they got it. And to me, that's a prime example of not teaching our children how to properly court and, be with, certain people as certain people. Because if this woman is in college and 3 years older than my son, I'm going to, number one, question that and, and do all that. But does anybody have an opinion on what is going on with that young man? Because like right now, anybody that has any eyes can see that this woman has groomed that young man and he's headed for disaster. Just like Tyrese, just like whatever. And so I'm in agreement. We need to teach our boys and our girls how to court and court properly. And what I mean by court, it isn't just, hey, let's go out and date and have fun. How to vet potential partners. Because this kid, he's headed for a disaster. I'm looking at a 3-year, 1 or 2 babies. Half his shit's going to be gone by the time he's finished.
Yeah, you talking about, I think his name is Travis Hunter. We talked about that on Tuesday. Yeah, I mean, I just think we should have those conversations with our children, no matter what kind of money they're making or what they do. As they say in the nation, settle down to a good choice. We don't teach that anymore. Teach our children to settle down to a good choice. There's a lot of cultures who won't, their children can't even make their own decisions as to who they marry, right? They already select those people. They sit down, they talk to them, him or her, you know, whatever, and see if, because what you also got to realize is not teaching your children who to properly look for, then you bring people into your family that may upset the balance of your family. Your son might be out there and get with Jezebel or Bathsheba or somebody, you know, your daughter out there with some dude who, you know, don't know how to get along. He loves confusion, and you bringing that into the family, and it just upsets the family. So that's why they say take it to court so you can see how his family moves, how her family moves, because she's more than likely she's going to think like the circle of her influence, which is her family. So have you gone and sat down at dinner with their family to see what their conversation is like or any of that stuff? See, a lot of times we move so esoterically. Well, I don't need to have my family meet my man or my woman. It ain't their problem. They not dating her. I'm dating her. And then, you know, you get yourself in the trick bag, as they say. Now you want the family to help you out and all this other stuff when you could just teach your children. Well, let us all see. Because ultimately it's your decision, but let us all see who this person is. Arson, you say what Demetra K said about the first date is perfect, but you need to know that this is a part of the issue. Women will claim right off the first date that some men are cheap, etc. Well, he said, remember White Castle. Well, I mean, that's a conversation you should be having with her. Hey, y'all, you want to get together? Let's go to get some coffee somewhere or whatever. Well, I don't coffee. Goodbye, ma'am. Say what you want to say about me, but I'm not going to entertain the foolishness. You see what I'm saying? But not you, Arson, but a lot of men. Well, you know, all right. Well, I don't want her to say nothing about me. Why do you care so much what an essential stranger thinks about you? You gonna let that woman trick you into taking her to Ruth Chris or somewhere like that when she really deserve a Happy Meal? I wouldn't care. You can say what you want to say about me, but what you ain't gonna be able to call me is a sucker. I'm just saying.
A quick question. Didn't Coach Prime, when he was down at Jackson State, bring in Brittany Renner to tell these athletes about, I wasn't in the conversation, but I would assume women like her? Didn't he do that? He brought her down to Jackson State and had her talk to the players. If you guys remember that, just tell me yep or hello in the chat or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that. And this wasn't how you doing. It says, I feel like sometimes a man is asking that question because he is thinking about the future. If something happened to him and he's not able to work, will you be able to take care of the house? Yes, and that's where that for better or worse comes into play. But see, and I love that statement of the question. See, if we're married, instead of being boyfriends and girlfriends and fiancés, and we're married, then yes, something happens to my man, he can't work, then yeah, if I can and I have the ability to earn money, whatever, yeah, I need to go get me a little side hustle, do whatever I gotta do to help the household stay afloat. Because if we're in a union, which is what marriage is, then we are on the same page. We got the same goals. We are both invested in the household surviving. But if you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend and y'all building something with, then yeah, that's, you know, Walter talks about it all the time. It says, when you are connected with somebody you married, you're less likely to just jump ship. I'm not saying it won't, but you're less likely to do it because you got things together and you're like, well, let's see if we can't keep it together, you know. And Quincy X, how you doing? And thank you so much for the donation. Let me actually find you. I see it up here. Love and appreciate you for that. Let me see. I'll read it. He says she got to bring something to the table for these 3 minutes. Oh, you got 3? Because I understand it's 2 for most of y'all. I'm just kidding. Raven.
At the end of the day, though, for those 2 minutes, we're tigers.
Wow. Raven, how you doing? It says, young women and men are lost because they don't see daddy in the same house, and the teamwork, unconditional love, and struggle the parents go through. So saggy pants and tight clothes on women is the norm, but with a responsible dad on the scene, the family structure has a better chance of surviving, and children will get values and self respect. Men are the maintainers, protector, and provider, which is missing. Totally agree. You do need both in the house to set the tone. Mission, vision. How you doing? Hope you're doing.
But the thing is, in the modern day, because we've had at least a minimum of 2 generations of young men raised by single mothers, at whatever nobody's blaming any fault. The fact of the matter is, these young men have been raised by single mothers, and they've picked up feminine traits. That's why you see a lot of men that will go on a date with a woman. When I see a dude walk away after asking a woman for a date, and why should I pay? Why aren't we going 50-50? And I'm speaking as an alpha male, only a woman would say something like that, because a real man, I can't bring home half the loaf, ladies. You guys wouldn't respect me to do such. You want me to bring home the whole loaf. And when I see these young men, especially when I was in the military, maybe your average logical thinker and some of you guys that were in the military, I remember when I was in the military and somebody would say, shut the F up. Most dudes, that's it. End of conversation. Now you see these young men, they got to have the last word, because that's the environment they come from, which is a feminine environment, to want to have the last word. So it's just, I think that we need to get back to commonality. We need to get back to telling these young people, don't do what we did. Is it just what Demetria was saying? She doesn't teach her daughter to do what her and her veteran significant other we're doing. Marriage is a good thing. There are benefits in marriage. We need to start preaching that, especially for women, because when we're talking about the homelessness issues out there, most of the homeless people that are facing homelessness are Black women with children. And those women are the women, in my opinion, that bought into that feminist, girl, you don't need no man, you could do it on your own, whatever. And the Democratic Party, the very party that these women voted for because Kamala is a Black woman, are the very party that will prioritize illegal immigrants and give them house and give them cash money and put you out on the damn street. We need to change our whole perception of how we think.
JJ says too many of our folks look at ignorant reality shows and hip hop garbage as a way to pick a mate. I hope not. I see me. I don't spend a lot of time watching TV. When I do, it's here and there. I could go sometimes a week and not watch. Well, when I say not watching, because I like watch YouTube and stuff, like videos. But when I say TV, I mean like sit down and watch movies. And sometimes I'll go a whole week and not even do that. If I turn the TV on, it's just, to look for something or whatever the case is. And Rose H2, I didn't say hello to you, but hello. He says, I remember that, laugh out loud. Wow, Williams, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Who else came on here? Okay, so who on behind? FBA Queen says, my family member married a straight up fool. It was like a drunk Las Vegas marriage. Now she is divorced. Families should have met him. Yep. See what I'm saying? Daryl, how you doing? Says, yeah, Brittany Renner said most athletes are idiots. Yeah, because they want that candy, right? They got all the money, want the arm candy, but they don't ask anything about her. Queen Adaya says, courting was in place to prepare and leads to marriage. Yeah. You got to ask questions like, yo, tell me about yourself, right? Mad Dog, how you doing? Facts, not feelings. How you doing? This is right up your alley. Says, peace and love. I gave up on love and marriage a long time ago. I had a 50-year-old woman try to friend zone me. See, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? At this big old age, people still out there playing games, chasing, just doing the most. It's like, at what point do you grow up? So I get why you say that. There's a lot of people who are just like, I'm just gonna go on and have me a V8, call it a day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be giving up half of my bed for no foolishness, so I get it. It is sad. At 50, we should have already gotten all that out of your system. And it's like, for the lady, I don't know why she friend zoned you or whatever, but it's like, you 50, lady, what are you out there looking for? You know what I mean? You just out here in the streets, you're playing games. Like, what are you doing? So that wasn't for you anyway. Yeah, Miss Sweet's 2 minutes. They up here playing, talking about some doggone 3 minutes. Now, just me. He says he liked her too. He brought her there on a pedestal, shaking my head. That cry-ronical, cry-racial, is that what that is? An inspiration as a single mom. Oh, but they'll take her as is like a used car. I don't even know what that means. Mikey said I'm right, and I don't even know what it is you talking about no more because I'm so behind the comments. But hey, Wild William says can't protect the food, soul must be vented. Okay. All right, let me get all the way to the bottom so I can be relevant. Miss Sweet says, question, what do men want women to bring to the table? Maybe we'll find out here. Maybe we'll find out because they don't even be knowing. And Wild Williams just says, yeah, you need to basically, be with somebody who is going to help you with your legacy because you are creating a legacy with somebody. Why wouldn't you want to ask questions of somebody you're going to be creating a legacy with? See, the problem is people don't even look that far. You're cute. I'm cute. Let's hang out. Let's treat each other like trampolines. And then, we find out we don't even like each other after that. So you have to be asking those questions. Would I want to build a legacy with this person, preserve what I have or what they have? Like, what else do we have going on other than the little 2 minutes we're going to, expend? Child of God says, need to change marriage and custody laws. That institution has been used to destroy the family unit in the United States. Yeah, I mean, I agree that it is flawed. I often hear a lot of men say, I'll never be married again because in the United States, it's too costly. But then you have prenups or whatever the case is. But like I said, I have friends that's like, I'm not going to get with a woman that ain't got just as much as I have to lose. She going to need some skin in the game. God forbid, or God willing, they get married. He's like, yeah, she going to have something to lose too. Or she ain't going to be taking me to court talking about I won't have. He says, my one friend says, I want to be able to say the same thing to her. We go to court, Your Honor, I won't have. Because she got just as much as I got, right? So, I get it. Tanya, you say Brittany went after that younger boy too. I don't think he's that much younger than she is. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's that much younger. Don't call me Shiloh. How you doing? It's a single men. Be like my wallet, my choice. Okay. Yeah. Cheap entertainment. How you doing? Says Donovan. Ooh. Okay. What? I'm not sure who Cheap Entertainment is, but Cheap Entertainment about to be blocked. Fact Not Feeling says she thinks she's got a man with some more money. Oh, is that what it is? Delmonte Green Beans. How you doing? Long time no see. Wild Williams says it's more than 3 minutes. What?
Oh, wait. I don't mean to interrupt you. I know who Cheap Entertainment is. That's that Democratic shill that was coming on.
I didn't even read the whole comment. I just read one sentence. So I'll let you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
You can do what you need to do. I didn't read the whole comment. Michelle, you say we need to take emotions out of the equation. Facts only. I think emotions are important, but I think we should come to the table with logic first because we don't want to have relationships where people are just, so what do you think? Oh, I think you want it because I want to see how you handle your emotions, right? Everybody ain't wrapped too tight. They get mad like that over things that it's like, ever see somebody get mad and like, man, why are you mad? You mad over that? Huh? So I want to be able to see how you handle things emotionally. And I don't have a problem with a man that cries. It just depends on what you're crying about. You know what I mean? And I feel the same way about women too. So don't think it's, it's not a man can't cry. I just don't like crying unless I'm doing the crying. His ghetto point of view. How you doing? So you're talking to BJ. Welcome in neighborhood. Watch. How you doing? Says Dr. Umar Johnson wants black women to pay black men $700 a month reparations. I don't know what black women he talking about. Dr. Umar can miss all of us with that. Miss Wilson, you say, my dad used to go with me on my dates and I met his parents, taught me a valuable lesson about relationships. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I think that fathers should be invested in their daughter's future to that degree. Oh, yeah, you met a nice young man. Well, let's go meet him. Let me size him up. I'll be nice, but I'm gonna be sizing him up because I want to make sure who is trying to be with my daughter. That's what they used to do. But nowadays, you got a lot of women. You don't need to meet my daddy. You don't need to meet him. Well, why not? Because see, a lot of times
I remember back in the day, having a daughter, that was value. That might bring you a rich son-in-law. That meant something.
Yeah, I mean, that way when when a man meets your father, the man knows, oh, I can't be doing too much foolishness with his daughter because she got a daddy in her life who was invested in her. I don't understand for the life of me why a lot of fathers are not like that. You just send your baby girl out there, and I know she's probably grown, but she's still your baby girl, and you're not interested in knowing who she's out there with, especially if she's serious about somebody. Hey, let me meet him, bring him by the house. Let's go out to lunch with him. Let's have a conversation with him. Now, if she get to saying, well, he ain't really ready to meet you yet, then you would say to her, then that should be concerning. What is he trying to hide? Hey, Warren, how you doing?
I can ask you. I can answer why most fathers nowadays aren't concerned about that.
Why?
Single motherhood. The mothers keep the fathers away. That's why they're not invested in their children as much. And I know that a man should not be kept away from his children no matter what. Unfortunately, we have men that do not fight for their children for whatever reasons. And again, that's a feminist trait because, like you said, a real man is not going to let his legacy just go on to the wayside. So again, that's something, because he was raised by a single mother, he's not invested in his children because, again, if I have a single mother raising me and we have different fathers, my siblings and I have different fathers, what am I being taught? I'm not here to down the women, but these are just the facts of the situation within our community. 70% of our community, single mothers, and the matriarch, we're the only culture on the earth in the United States where the matriarch runs the community. We're the only ones that do it. Just a fact.
Quincy says and GPIC, I'm gonna bring you up just a second. I'm gonna put you on mute, then I'm gonna bring you up. Quincy said we want women to have some kind of hustle, business, or skill to make money, not change up from the way we met you. Honesty, respect, loyalty, and know when to be quiet. I could dig it because there's true. A lot of times women just need to know when to be quiet, right? You don't need to be, yip yapping and all that. And I think obviously that should be done in respect. The man says, hey, baby, I think you need, give me a moment. Just let me, and the woman should say, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Do what you got to do, right? Let me get down to the bottom. Then we're going to see what Mr. GP has to say. And Ms. Wilson, you say, he scared the mess out of both of y'all, huh? That's what he was supposed to do. Soto says, speaking for myself, bringing something to the table is having a life that contributes to the relationship. I don't need a June Cleaver, but something in the category of Claire Huxtable. So a woman that's beautiful, just got something going on, that's respectful, she's smart, got you. JJ, Diesel Cowboy Traveler, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, I think I got to the bottom. So GP, what's on your mind today? You're not going to the gym and all this other fabulous stuff?
Well, dude, I'm keep this short because I'm tired as hell, and some unexpected business actually prevented me from going to sleep a few hours ago. Now I'll speak.
Wait. Your mic is kind of muffled a little bit. We want to be able to hear what you're saying.
How about now?
Beautiful.
Okay, so I'll keep this short because I'm tired as hell, and some unexpected business prevented me from going to sleep a few hours ago. Now I'll speak based on the title here. Now I would say the answer to this question really depends on the overall mindset of the man being asked the question. In my case, I would say that women who date me would have to bring something to the table, but not in the typical aspect of most things that men will ask for. Now, any woman who dates me would just have to bring 3 things pertaining to her character for me to date and potentially want to marry her. The first thing would be that she would have to want to see me succeed in life. The second thing would be that she has to be appreciative of my over-the-top romantic tendency to treat any woman who dates me in a way that causes her to feel like royalty whenever she's in my presence. And third and last, she will always have to speak life into me within our conversations. I didn't get any of that when dating women within my own age group, which in turn is why I now identify as granny sexual. Now I'm headed to sleep because I'm tired as hell and I have to be at work at 6 in the morning tomorrow. Y'all take it easy.
All right. And thank you for coming up. Granny sexual, which I guess he means he likes grandmas. Okay.
Wait. What's so bad about that? Because the average grandma nowadays is about 33, 32, 35. There's nothing wrong with it.
Is that the average grandma is 33? Yikes. his ghetto point of view said, Donovan, the average family court battle costs tens of thousands of dollars, and most men lose very often. Even the attorney will suggest a man stop fighting because it becomes a money hole. Well, I'm going to say this to y'all. I have helped a few men pencil whip that heifer, okay? And I agree with you. It is very expensive. But there's a lot of things that you can do yourself. But the first thing, men, you have to do is show up. Show up. And as I say this a lot, men keep other men in the child support system. Now, what I mean by that is, you listening to your disgruntled homie that say, man, I don't even know why you going. She gonna get, win custody. They gonna make you pay child support. Man, I wouldn't even go. So unfortunately, you believe all that and you don't go. And she ends up winning by default. And then you don't go again. But the truth of the matter is, especially if you don't have anything wrong, like you didn't beat the kids, or you don't have anything wrong, or there's no reason why you wouldn't at least get some custody. But see, a lot of y'all don't show up and fight at all. And if you don't have any money, you can get your fees waived. There's a lot of law firms that help you pro bono with the paperwork, and just a whole host of resources out there for men. Now, me personally, I hate that it is that way, especially in the United States, and more so in a lot of places in the United States where courts are just more friendly to the woman. But the father needs to realize you have rights too. You have the right to go in there and ask for custody. See, a lot of y'all don't do that as well. Ask for some custody, whether it's 50-50, 60-40, something. Get her on paperwork. That way, if she says, well, you can and I don't care. 911, I need you to help me get custody of my daughter or my son. We have a paperwork. We have a court order. She's not abiding by that. But see, you got to get, as I've heard this from the OGs, put the white man on her because she's going to put him on you. So you got to show up. She's not letting you see your child. Go file for custody. Start there. But talking about she won't let me, I don't think you want to in the first place. If you a man, you saying a woman won't let you see your child, I'm going to ask you right off the rip. Did you take her to court? Did you put paperwork? Nah, I ain't do all that. Well, you, as my nephew would say, is a 5-letter kitty cat. Y'all can add that up if you want to, right? So there's no such thing as she won't let me. Because when you put the white man on her ass, she going to have to do what he says too. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. And then you got to look at the technology today. When you go over there, you record her acting up, whatever. If she's calling you, harassing you, you keep all that for the records for when you do go to court. And again, the same rules that some women use to abuse the system against men, we could use those same rules for our benefit. It's inconvenient to her. Make it inconvenient. Not that you're going to weaponize it, but that's what you can do. How many of you guys know, at least here in California, if you have joint custody of your child with the mother, and she wants to move to another state, she can move all she wants, but that child's got to stay in that state. So what does that mean? He has to make some decisions. Do you see what I'm saying? So you guys are going to have to work and get along. But you know what happens a lot of times? The mother moves and doesn't say anything, and most men, we just go along with it because we don't know the law. I mean, they have legal aid. They've got people that can give you free advice and tell you how to navigate the system. We know the court system is not supposed to represent the woman. At least that's what they say. But we know they have unlimited resources so that the government could get their 10% cut of administrative fees between the both of you. But you can use that exact system against the woman. Just because the DNA proved that you're the father, that has nothing to do with custody. And a lot of us don't even know that. Just because, the DNA, I'm the father. But you don't have custody because you're not married to her. If you were married, this wouldn't even be an issue or a problem.
And that's not true either. If you could be married and still be going through that. So if you're with somebody who is contentious and cantankerous, then you need to put some paperwork on them. And his ghetto point of view said, Demetri, men should 100% go, but are you giving out funds for the attorney? And it says, why it has become normal for men to have to fight for a child they made is not normal. And I would say, as far as, am I giving out attorney fees? No, but I damn sure give you some good ass advice. And all the men that have never had to get not one attorney, not once, not one time. Because If you don't know what you don't know, then yeah, you think you need an attorney. You can do that yourself. You can put the paperwork on her. Like I said, if you ain't got nothing bad in your past or anything like that, a judge is going to hear you. But y'all don't show up. You got to show up. Fill out the paperwork. She brings an attorney. What else is she going to really say about you? You know, if you got your stuff together, and I'm not saying you got to be rich. If you got your stuff together, you ain't got no, criminal background, nothing like that. What's the attorney going to say about you? Show up, respond, or serve her with paperwork. Listen, she's not letting me see my child. I need to see my child. I'm asking for some sort of custody. They're going to have you go to mediation. The mediator is going to sit down with both of you, see what the problem is. If y'all can mediate, meet in the middle. If you cannot meet in the middle, the mediator will come up with what they think is best, and they will present that to the judge. The judge is still going to talk to the both of you and come up with what is best. But most of the time, you don't need an attorney. You just need to show up and say, Your Honor, I just want to see my child. She's not letting me see it. Now, as far as most men are normal, and if men have to fight for their child, it's not normal. I wouldn't even say that is the norm. Now, are there some hard-headed heifers out there that do that kind of stuff to men? Absolutely. But you know what? If I was a man, she'd do it to me once. And trust me, I got homeboys that we pencil whip the hell out of her because she did it once. And I said she wouldn't be able to do it to you again. Let's do what we got to do. And the rest is history. See, those women do that because they know all they got to do is and you go running away. She won't let me. But if you serve her ass with some paperwork, I guarantee you she gonna rearrange her understanding.
Yeah, and again, a lot of these young men that are caught up in this trap, in a lot of cases, were raised in single mother homes to where you don't have that father figure that's going to sit you down and say, "Look, Negro, this is what you got to do," and follow through. It's easier just to walk away. And then, brothers, we got to take responsibility on ourselves. I see a lot of young people. I'm a victim of the child support system, but guess what? I learned one time. It didn't take twice. I know some brothers that have gone through the same scenario 2, 3, 4 times and won't learn. They're getting the same type of woman that will do this to them. So, we got to take responsibility. And I agree with Demetra. Ain't nobody going to tell me I can't see my child. Even if you were in jail, do you guys know a father has a right to see his child, and that child can be adjudicated to get visitation with the father, even though I think it's very traumatic for a child to see his father locked up or his parent locked up. But the point is, I know people that have their kids once a month that are delivered up to them at the prisons because it's adjudicated in the law.
Absolutely, Miss Weiss, we do. We love our Black men, But yeah, and facts not feelings. I saw you say, you still got screwed. You showed up. Sometimes it happens that way. But I'm talking about people talking about she won't let me. Facts not feelings. Did she not let you see your child? I don't know if you have children with her or whatever, but to say she won't let me, is she the law? Is she the judge? Who is she to say what she want? Now, I know there's women out there that do that, but like I said, if I was a man, she'd do it to me once, and I'd bring her to court so fast, and I would have her tell the judge why she's refusing to let me see my child. And then that way you get, I tell this to everybody. If you and you got a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, y'all break up, go right to the court. And it's not just because you're trying to get child support. I'm not even saying that should be the issue. If you're willing to take care of the children 50-50, whatever, y'all break up, great. But like Donovan said, there's a lot of times people break up and the mama talking about, oh, I'm leaving. She mess around, move out the damn state. And then you got to go find her and serve her where she's at because she ran off with the child. Because especially in California, the law says, even if you don't have paperwork, whoever has the child, the custody of the child, that's who has custody of the child. So that person can run off to another state, with the child, and then you fighting. It's a harder fight. So that's just something you should do right away. Okay, I'm not saying we're fighting, but let's go get some paperwork. That way we can both have an equal say so, legally, without us having to, go through any of that drama and trauma. That's just my advice. And I'm saying that because I've been through that,
And then here's another thing we got to think about. Okay, you have all these people that have been there. Okay, I'm 54 years old. I've been in the system, and whatever the deal is. and I have all this wisdom and knowledge. Why isn't our young men and our young women going to the older people who've been there and done that they respect, and asking how to navigate these systems? I mean, it doesn't, you don't really need a lawyer technically unless you want to go that route. There's so many people that have been there that know the steps of what you need to do to get to where you got to go.
Yeah, and brother Kermit, how you doing? It says she's correct. You got to have your paperwork straight. Got my divorce. Ex did not show up at court. I got custodial custody of my children. There you go. You know, so but you got to show up. And Magnetter, and I didn't say hello to you, but hello. He says lawyer might drag it out. Of course they gonna drag it out. Oh well, you know her lawyer said, and all. Just show up. If you need a lawyer, then work from that point. But just show up first. And say what it is you need and you want it. And I think most of the time you don't need a lawyer. Like I said, the men I work with, they ain't need no lawyer, and I'm not one.
The biggest mistake in any legal fight is not to show up to the initial summons. When you don't show up to the initial summons, everything is defaulted. It's done. It's finished. Vamoose. There is no tomorrow. There is no next week. When you show up, and the judge asks, let's just say it's just a summons and say, well, sir, there's an allegation that you're the father. I don't think I'm the father, judge. Okay, we're going to reset this for 60 days out. We're going to take a DNA test, come back in 60 days. Then we're going to take it from there. But the biggest mistake is that first court date. Trust me, when you do not answer that summons and it is defaulted, oh my God, all hell breaks loose. And that's most likely when you're going to need a lawyer, because at least in 60 days, you can go get advice. You can go get a lawyer to get some advice, whatever the deal is. Most of us make, and I'm talking for the men, most of us make our mistake when we don't show up for that initial summons.
And then even if you don't show up, you can modify the whatever they ruled on. You can modify that and show up again. So
but that's more to the step. It's just easier just to show up.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't think this is my baby. Yeah, I slept with her, but everybody else did too, or whatever the situation is. And then the judge sets it out for discovery. Then that's when everything goes into motion. But at least you have time to pack your bag, get your passport, leave this country, whatever you're going to do, and roll. So the biggest mistake is not showing up for that initial court date.
Arsene says, not sure about meeting daddy. Like, how early are we talking? I'm not meeting anyone on the first time. I understand the reasoning, but find it to be extra pressure for what may still turn into nothing. Yeah, maybe the first time that you talk to her, not so much. But yeah, if y'all going to go any further than that, I don't have a problem with, I think that the man should meet the dad, and then, vice versa with the girl. You should meet each other's parents, so you can see what may be coming into your family. Because trust me, there's a lot of people who have some horror stories that enter into their family, and it just F up Thanksgiving forever. JL, how you doing? Said it's taking me 3 years fighting for my kids, and I'm winning, but it's going to take some money for sure. But my kids is worth it. I'm working overtime, side hustle to pay this lawyer, fight my brothers. Yeah, you go fight, regardless of what it is, whatever you got to do, fight. And I'm not, listen, when I tell you to fight, I'm not saying that is right, that she's doing that is wrong. Trust me. I know somebody who's going through that now, and it's a horror story. But I told him, I said, we're going to do whatever we got to do to make sure that she ain't able to run game on you. And like you said, it's working. It's working. But if she get her way, if he just says, well, I don't know what to do, we figure it out. That's what we do.
Well, what do you do when the child is 30 years old and he or she asks you the question, Dad, why didn't you fight for me? How do you answer that? 20, 30 years later?
Right. And then, that's when you tell the truth about they crazy ass mama, Common Man says all the father needs is a place to live with a room for a child, a way to show you can feed the child and show that you truly care for the child and never get mad in court. There you go. Right. Shan, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Ali said Dr. Pepper was a third party in my mediation case. So basically he's saying he knew he was in trouble when he went for child support hearing, when the officer, or the mediator, or the child support officer, whatever, offered her a soda and didn't offer him one. He was like, I know I'm in trouble now. Karen.
And fellas, I'll tell you, when you walk into a court and you see a female judge or a magistrate up there, it's going to get rough. I mean, you can't come with the foolishness. I'm just going to say that. Don't come with the foolishness, because it's already
that's for men too. I mean, male judges, you would just hope that you get a judge that's fair and that could see, through the nonsense. But the other thing too is if you go into court, don't be doing foolish stuff, talking spicy and reckless, and where it can be documented and all that. To be on your best behavior. Kira says, but if there's 75% of single mothers in our community, and then and the men won't fight to be in the kids' lives, then what? That's a lack of leadership of men.
Well, no, I'm gonna answer that. No, that's not a lack of leadership of men. You can't make a man be a father. That's one thing you can't do. I mean, a man, number one, a man that runs away from his children like that is not a leader to begin with. So, but you can't make a man be a father. It's unfortunate that a man does that, but that's not a leader.
So then her point stands. If you can't make a man be a father, then her point stands, and we shouldn't even be to that point. And I agree that the court, all it can do is mandate that he pays child support, but he cannot force him to be in the life of the child, which is why as women, it behooves us to make better decisions. Don't lay down with anybody because he cute, he smell good, and he's saying all the right stuff. He done brought a box of pizza over the Netflix and chill with you. Nah. Are you able to? Are you going to stick around? That's the stuff you find out. And Farrakhan talked about that in the last Savior's Day message. I think it was the last Savior's Day message. Definitely in how to give birth to a God, and maybe it was both of them, where he said, women, make sure that man is committed to you. Stop laying down with these men that's not committed to you. See, that's the problem. We lay down with these men, and there's no shade to you men, but I'm just giving this little bit of word of wisdom to the women. Stop laying down with a man who ain't told you he want to be your man. Because let's keep it a buck. The nature of a man, you look good. Yeah, I love to have some of that. But that don't mean because he done hopped up on down on you for 2 minutes that he's committed to. That's not commitment. See, a lot of times we get horizontal and then we mistake that as, ooh, man, he sure is. Oh, yeah. But he ain't about nothing. I'm not saying this by anybody specifically. I'm just saying for the women. That's why we have to say, you look good. Hold on. You smell good. What you got on? Oh, Issey Miyake. Oh, really? Okay, now let's get down to the brass tacks. Can you provide? We lay down. You get me pregnant. You gonna want to be a father? Oh, he's stuttering. Are you able to take care of a child? We get pregnant, are you gonna want to stick around and raise a child with me at least 18 years? Well, okay. Well, you know what? I cannot lift my skirt for you. Ain't gonna be able to do it. Get somebody else to do it. It's just that simple.
Yeah, and then ladies, and I'm not, like I said, you got some horrible men out there that are doing horrible stuff. Again, it's been proven. I think 20% of the men in our community make up, I think, 40% of the births. These guys are just making babies without no thing. Question a man that has multiple baby mamas. I mean, I just don't understand how, Ray, who's got 3 children, he's barely taking care of it. If he's taking care of them all, how he pulled you, and you think that, again, build the bear, build the dude, whatever it is. I just don't understand it. I'm not saying because has a child and that makes them, as a man, makes them a bad person. But I would think, ladies, if you're looking for a provider, if a man is not taking care of his child, number one, he's not going to take care of you, and he's not going to take care of the child that you're going to give him. And then why are we laying down without all this protection and condoms and stuff like that to make these babies to begin with?
Miss Sweet said, because they don't ask. They don't ask, are there resources for me? Where can I go? I don't have the money. Well, like, what can I do? They ask, they'll point you in the right direction. As far as, a woman having laying down with a man with multiple baby daddies, all men, most men, if not all men I know, got more than one baby mama. So I think the real question should be, when are men going to start talking to their sons and say, hey, find one, settle down with? Donovan, you say it all the time. You can't F them all. When are men going to have conversations with their sons about that? You can't F them all. Get you a good one that you like to look at. She all on the same page, same library, and go make a life with her. Okay? Stop. Every time you see something with a bigger booty, you know what? Tell them to stop making babies with every woman they lay down with. In fact, don't lay down with that woman if you're not going to stay with her. See, that's, to me, better conversation that men should be having with their sons. Because we tell women all the time, oh, you're worthy. You shouldn't lay down with anybody. You should tell your sons the same thing. You should tell your sons, don't just be giving your stuff away to any scallywag that'll let you. You should be leery. Like you're precious and special too. Because you don't know where that woman has been. Not even just physically, but spiritually, mentally, and everywhere. You don't know where that woman has been. You should, as a boy, a man, feel worthy enough to not give your seed to just any woman, because that any woman is going to take you to court or make you take her to court. Well, I don't know why. I don't want you. But yeah, she don't want you around, but she wants you to pay for that child. So that's what you should be telling your son. Stop spreading seeds like you're growing watermelon. Those seeds are humans. So I get it. We admonish women a lot. And I think women should be admonished, but admonish the men too. Because like I said, most men I know got more than one baby mama. And they're not frowned upon. I'm not even saying a man with multiple baby mamas is not worthy of having a woman. But the question should be, is that man ready to settle down, or is he looking just to get his kicks for right now with another potential baby mama? That's what we should be asking.
Absolutely. I agree with you. But again, I'm a single mom. That's the excuse women get. Now, as a man, can I say I'm a single father? No. But I will say this, and I'm a firm believer in this. Everybody's entitled to a mistake. So when a young woman, unfortunately, gets with Ray or Pookie and she makes that mistake, hey, give her grace, give her guidance, have her move on. Hopefully she will do better. Same thing with the young man. If the man makes the mistake, okay, yeah, this woman was really bad, the big booty got me and whatever it is. Okay, hey, we get it. The problem is when they keep making the same mistake over and over and over again, and we keep rewarding that same mistake. And unfortunately, ladies, it's more on your side than it is on men that get the admonishment, because you guys are the mothers, you're the teachers, and you're the nurturers. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just the idea. The children in those formative years are going to be around you, so more attention is spread to you than it is to fathers. But again, I've sat in court on days I had nothing to do. I would just go into a courtroom, be it civil, be it criminal, and I would just sit there and watch the court system happen. And I've said this before on this show before. If you have a young son, even if you have a young daughter, but especially the sons, take a day from work. Take your young sons around 13, 14 years old and sit at family court for a day. And I'm telling you, it's going to change their life at how they see the justice system treats them if they don't make the right decisions when the time comes to do that. Because the bottom line is, I can't go in there. Nobody cares that I'm a single father. Nobody cares about that. Yeah, I get resources and stuff, but we live in a patriarchal society, ladies. I know you guys don't want to accept it, but that's the society we live in. Men are held accountable. Women can go in there and say, well, I'm a single mom and I've got 4 kids and, everybody, let's help the single mom, which we should. But when you're a single father, the courts, the law, they don't want to hear no excuses, fellas. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
Rose H2O, he says, what happened to using birth control and condoms? Just because you can have kids doesn't mean you should. Most people aren't wrapped too tight. Even birth control is not 100%. The what's 100% is celibacy and abstinence. That's 100%, right? And you have a better chance of, staying together and not having the child support issue. I said a better, not 100%. If you marry, get married, but you're right. People just, laying down with each other and not even thinking about none of that. And as far as you taking your sons to court, just be the example. And men, you wouldn't have to take your sons to court to see child support issues if you be the example. See, a lot of times too, the sons, they pattern after the father. If the father is still chasing cat, I think I could say that. If the father's still chasing cat, he ain't married, the son is going to do the same thing. My daddy, y'all know how many times I've heard men say, well, my daddy did it, so that's why I do it too, or whatever. So the sons are watching you. If they saw their daddy settle down to a good choice, stay with their mama, or if they're not their mama, a woman that's solid, you got to show your sons what it looks like to be in a union. But you showing your sons, you chasing women here, there, they don't never see you with the same woman. You introducing another woman into the kid's life every time they see you. Then what you think they're gonna do? More than likely, they're gonna think that's what manhood is.
Right. Right. And I'm saying that because I took my son down to a family court because I had experienced it myself. I have a son that is 32 now, and my youngest is 26, going to be 27. They don't have any children. They don't have any children. So I'm not saying that that was the main situation, but I do think after what they witnessed, it was a viable situation in how they're moving as adults.
His ghetto point of view, he said, Demetri, maybe in the state you are in, but I know men that have fought for over 15 years plus, so everyone isn't just running away after some barking. That's untrue position. That's not what fathers are doing. Well, I'm from California. Most of the men, all the men that I'm talking about are in California. So I'm not sure where it is. I'm sure things are different. There's no absolute, so I don't want you to think that I'm dealing in absolutes. Yes, some things go terribly wrong. That's not the norm. I think most of the time, if you show up, whether you're a man or a woman, it happens to both. Show up and get the process started. Get involved. See what you got to do. Is it going to be rough? Yeah, it probably is. Like I said, I think it's horrible that happens to people that get with a wayward, woman. They got kids with them and they want to take them through the stuff just because. I think that's horrible. I don't think it's right. I think actually people who do that to people, I think they should face some type of punishment for abusing the system. I really think they should. But what I'm saying is, don't give up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. He also says, Donovan, men don't get that grace, though. Men get 21 years of child support. Why don't men get the same grace and ability to fix their error all the time? And I agree with it. Sorry, I'm glitching. And I agree with it. Demetri says this all the time. Yeah, Demetri says this all the time. We live in a patriarchal society. Who made the laws? The men did. And we have these simp men that are being whatever by these women that are messing these laws up. What we need to do, since we're in the modern age, because a lot of these laws haven't been changed since the 1950s. Okay, so they're using laws that have been on the books for years that need to be upgraded to the standards of how we live today. So what we got to do is we have to get politically involved and get these laws changed. There's a group called Fathers' Rights. Some states' fathers' rights are really good. Some states, they really suck. But we've got these advocacy groups that are out there trying to get these laws changed. Mary J. Blige, why should she be paying child support to a fully functional man that she was married to for 9 years? I don't think it's fair that she has to do that, but that's the way the law is written, right? We need to get back to these common sense laws. So as men, what we got to do is get back and rewrite these laws so that they're fair and they're equitable to both parties. That's what we need to do. We can't, as men, we could sit here and say, oh, woe is me all day. But guess what? As men, nobody cares when we cry. No, but we just have to go out there and get it. When the baby need diapers, we got to go get it. And nobody cares how we go about to get it, right? It's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of a man. You don't cry. Your family needs something, you get it. It's the way it is. That's the example I've seen. I don't know about nowadays. Neighborhood Watch, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you. He says, especially no for Donovan without a ring. Yeah, I mean, why aren't men saying that? Why aren't men saying, no, I can't lay down with you because we're not married. I don't know you like that. Why aren't men saying that?
Because if we say that, the human race will go extinct. That's why.
Well, then shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Stop complaining.
We are programmed to procreate with as many women as we can. That's just how we are created.
Then if we shut the hell up.
And then there are women out there that will give us that V because our hair look good.
Then shut the hell up. What is it all about then? You want to procreate with big booty Betty and all her homegirls, and what are we talking about? Just dig in your pockets and keep digging for 18 years and shut the hell up. Yes, easy. Yeah, low mileage should be important, men should have standards too. Like, I don't know, you lady. I don't know where your thing has been. Y'all, that's what y'all should be saying as well. Sherry on says, don't allow the man to place you in a vulnerable position because both of you are in this position, but he doesn't have the permission to enter into the door. Advice to the younger. Yeah, and as they say, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. And that is a true statement. Basically, you the mama gonna be stuck with the child. The daddy can say, I'm gonna see what old girl talking about down here. and you run around. I got you, Donovan. And you run around with the baby on your hip. Kara says, I agree what you're saying, but the problem exists, and it can't just continue to be on the shoulders of the mothers who are doing what they can to raise these children. Dwayne says diaper prices are insane. So I heard. I haven't had a baby, and my daughter should be 32, so it's been a while. JJ says,
if you think diaper prices are crazy, have you seen what formula costs?
No. I heard though. Let's see. Neighborhood Watch says we should be talking about single fathers are problematic as single mothers. They're both a problem. Because
But it has been statistically proven children raised with the single father have better outcomes than the single mother.
I ain't never seen nothing like that. But I've not seen that statistics. I think they're better off with both parents. That's the statistics I've seen. They're better off with both. Mikey says, I told my son, take your time and don't be in a rush trying to make a grand. Now his mom is a different story. Yeah, the conversation should be, where's a daughter-in-law that we can go down the aisle and celebrate and, to reception and all that. And then we can talk about grandkids.
Now, the sad thing is, as men, when we see our son or our cousin or somebody that's young, our nephews or whatever, with a chick, we'd be egging him on. Oh, man, you got you one, man, brother. Oh, man. Remember that movie with Tyler Perry when they're at the family reunion? And the girl, he's like, go get me some water over there. And she's dipping into the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, you guys, that was Demetra one summer when she was wearing her little Daisy Dukes and stuff. They would make her a little deeper down there to Demetra. Go ahead and get that little, got his little camera.
No.
but it's sad because, again, men, we don't really we don't really give them the correct information. If anything, we cheer on the bad behavior.
Yep. You say 17-year-old, 21 years old, 21 years of support. A teen male who makes a poor decision won't be able to get from out of that until almost 40. Equality, how? Again, that's not the norm. That's not the norm. As for, and I don't know if that's your situation. I'm not saying every situation is perfect. But like I said, teach your children to not go down that path. I know mistakes happen. They do. But this is why we really need to get a hold of our children. See, I wasn't one of those parents that waited till my child got in high school and heard it all wrong. She knew this stuff from as soon as we could have conversations. I was never one to, the birds and the bees. I don't even know how it goes. So we could try our best to give them the information, but like I said, I've always told my daughter, let's become a wife first, before we go off having all these children with men that have not committed. And the outsider sports, no, you're here with a whole bunch of us. I don't know why you're not seeing us, but we see you. We see you. Warren, he says it's hard to stop having sex once the door is open. Well, don't open the door. I'm just saying, because what's hard.
No. The answer to that, then, if you like having sex and then it is a great thing, find the one that does everything you needed to do and stick with that one.
Yeah, it can all be so simple. It really can be, Pop, how you doing? Long time no see. Steven says, hey, back in the day, Big Booty Betty knew how to back that thing up. And she knew how to go to he the daddy. I need to get some child. She knew how to do that too. The big booty was a trap. Pow.
How many of you guys saw the video of the grandmother? She had passed away, and they have these staged wakes, these staged wake viewings, right? And there's nothing worse than seeing your grandmother and you didn't even know this, but she was the chick that was always at the VFW or at the club. She was the club chick. And there was a video years ago, I saw it, and they staged the grandmother as if she's at the club with her drink and her cigarette in her hand. And that's how everybody's going to remember her as she goes into the afterlife.
That's how we're going to do you. You're going to have all your pets around you. You're going to have a sign that says, welcome to the DR. You have your passport in one hand. And we about to get out here. I see somebody saying share the link, but we're about to get out of here. We actually overstayed our welcome. We had $60 for Similac. I don't think so. Candace says Kevin's stats change way black fathers are viewed. Change the way black fathers are viewed. Well, yeah, we know that black fathers are the most involved father in the United States with their children. So that the black man is a deadbeat. It's as I always say, the original deadbeat baby daddy was the slave master. Okay, let's give credit where credit is due. Anyway, we gonna get out of here. We love and appreciate y'all. I just want to acknowledge everybody have not seen. Sorry if I didn't see everybody and read your comments. I would have loved to, but even with this, it's hard.
Sherry Kingston says, "Don't open the door to just anyone." Good, great advice. Great advice.
Yeah, that's like somebody. Who is it? I don't know. I might be Michael Myers. It could be Jason. I could be an angel. I could be the woman of your dreams. I can also be Charlie Manson. Open the door. You gonna ask some more questions, aren't you? Before you just open, come on in. You're gonna want to know who's on the other side of the door. And if you don't know, don't go. It's just that simple. I'm just saying. Anyway, Scoopy said I got 3 baby mamas and are still there for them. Yeah, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Just because you got a lot of kids, well, 3 is not, well, it depends on who you ask. A lot of children, that don't mean you can't be there for them. And I'm not saying that makes you a bad guy. I'm not saying that at all. Just like I don't think a woman with a bunch of kids is a bad person. You know, some things happen or whatever the case is, but, you know, be a better person from that point. Samuel C says, I'm 41 years old and I'm still a virgin, never believed in premarital sex. That's what I'm talking about. Me too. Donovan, I am.
Well, you know what? I would believe it at this stage. The cobwebs have grown out.
Yes. Hello, 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 hello. Go, 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 go.
What a waste. What a waste. Demetra is the only chick that walks a bassinet and just eating Cheetos and not even trying to get customers.
What y'all doing? I mean, listen, a waste compared to what, like I said, I'm in the H, also known as Houston, and they done managed to get HIV hot and popping again. It's like it's on the rise. How do you do that? How do you get AIDS back on the rise? How do you bring back syphilis?
What aren't they having all those like group pool parties and stuff like that out there on the weekend?
It was called the Grand Lux, I think it was. Do you know they didn't change the damn name back to the DoubleTree? They said, oh no, the things y'all did in this pool, we have to change the name. We got to change the name. So yeah, you know, Demetra K don't really be wanting to be out in them streets like that. It's dangerous, you know. I'm 53. Yeah, I can't have no babies, but I can get some I can't get rid of, you know. I can live with a baby, but no. Anyway, I love you all. We're going to get out of here. We'll see y'all Tuesday. Mike, you crazy. Peace.